All right, good evening. Today is Wednesday, June 24th, 2020, and we're going to go through some long-term Bitcoin charts with the total market cap and all the good charts out there. So let me pull it up right here, and we're going to talk about some important dates, some trend lines, some accumulation distribution patterns. And the reason I'm making this video is because when I go through the altcoin pairings versus Bitcoin, I'm seeing a lot of interesting patterns. Okay, so for example, it could be ADA, Ethereum Classic, EOS. Those are the ones that I took a look at. And I really do think that this is probably going to be the last leg. I don't think that these altcoins are going to come back. I don't know if Bitcoin is going to break out of this resistance, but I'm specifically looking at these patterns here. So here's just one example: Cardano Bitcoin, 3 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves, and now we're coming up, right? Taking a look at the volume, you can obviously see that there's buying going on right now. So what I think is going on right now, the really good traders that sold here are reaccumulating down here for some reason. The insiders do this, probably because they know that Bitcoin is going to go higher. But that's a speculation. It could be a fact, but that's a speculation. So let's go through some other charts here. Like, I don't really need to zoom in or anything. It tells it all. There's a 3-day chart here. Let me go on the monthly. It's just, if people haven't sold the same waves here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know it doesn't measure up with the Fibonacci's, but it's the visual that gets me. It's above the moving averages. Huge volume right here. I'm just thinking that the investors are coming into the market at this stage, and the next wave that is going to come downwards might be your last chance to actually get in the market for a longer term position. And we're talking about some great percentages here. You know, I don't know if it'll break the top. If you take a look at coins like Verge, it'll probably not ever break the top. It could, you know. So let's take a look at EOS. This one's interesting as well. Ripple, Litecoin, like the ones that are shunned upon, or how do we say, that people hate. I hear like those are usually the ones that actually do the best, because that's where people just sell. Okay, there's no more sellers. And what happens when there's no more sellers? Of course, the prices start to rise. And then when prices start to rise, especially in cryptocurrencies, it attracts people. More demand, more demand, more demand. And we'll get into that in the next few charts here. But here's EOS. EOS on the Bitcoin scale 30-day chart. I like this chart because it's, has a history. We're talking about 1,000 days here. And I'm still working on timing indicators. We could still be in an accumulation, and this is what I think is going to happen. In about 100 or 200 days, I think that's going to be your last chance to accumulate. And depending on how the altcoins react to this downwards move, if we actually see some altcoins go up versus Bitcoin in this down leg on Bitcoin, we'll get into. Let's do it now. Okay. Top left here, we'll get into this later. Top left, this is the pattern that I have. This is the total market cap. Okay, so everything on cryptocap.com. So I think it's totalmarketcap.com. As you can see, there's weird volume coming in. I don't really trust the volume on it. It could be just high leverage, anything like that. That's going on right now. um, it could be a scam. To be honest with you. Now that I think about it and I look at it like this, like, what do you mean? If you create leverage, paper money, and you start to buy what you actually own, then you're gonna leave some people at the top here, and that's what I think is going on right now. Okay, so this is total market cap. 2014 was the inception. Started downwards. 2014 started downwards, and came up here. Now it's forming. I made a video on this. The triangle A, B, C, D, E, and then your accumulation is going to be right here. Probably your last chance, and right here as well. So here's December 11th, 2021. No, 2020. Until January 2021, I think is going to be your last straw. If we break this low, I'm going to be a little bit more bearish. I'm probably going to be bearish on the market. So it's total market cap right here. The high was 760 billion. Right now we're sitting at 558. And getting rejected off this trend line. On Bitcoin, it looks more perfect. Like we haven't broke out of it. But on this one right here, we broke out of it. We broke out of it here as well. One good thing that about the market right now is we're above all the moving averages. Well, except this one. I do think that we're going down because we are below the volume profile. I should probably have that on the chart. Yeah, I have it on a different one. Where is it? This one here. So here's the volume profile. At this time, for this chart right here, we're actually above the volume profile. But if you pull up Binance like this, we're way below. I mean, we're above. My bad. But we're below in this wave right here. So this tells me that we're going to retest the lows, I believe. Probably going to come down to this area to retest. So there's a lot of volume right here. So let's go back to this chart here. So this chart here is the total market cap excluding Bitcoin. So it's only altcoins. This is sitting at 88 billion. And the all-time high of this one was 500 billion. So that's a big portion of what the total market cap was at its high, right? Because the high was, how much was it? Was it 800? 780, I think, right? 780. So let's go back right here and kind of check the dates and see if they line up. Now this is a timing strategy. I have over 30 samples on a long-term scale, on a macro scale, that it works on reversals and whatnot. So as you can see, the total altcoin charts, only altcoins, this is still a higher high right here. If you see the low at 36, so it's a higher high, but it looks very like Bitcoin made a much higher high, right? The whole thing made a much higher high, which shows me that some of these altcoins are definitely bearish. Okay, some of them are bullish, like Link. Maybe not Link, right? It did go to zero, but they fixed the chart for somehow. I can get some better moving averages that pretty much gets it right on. I'll add that probably on another update video, because in my opinion we still have 152 days for us to get a reversal candle, and more like Okay, so they're different dates than what Bitcoin is telling me. The total market cap is telling me something different. So this is 170 days. And this one here, which is more important in my opinion, is 331 days until we get a reversal point or we start to break this trend line. Or we continue upwards and then we get a reversal in 300 and odd days, right? So I'm watching that. The really weird part is if you understand what volume is, like some volumes coming in the market, and I think it's those leverage exchanges like Binance that's making 100x. Like I think that's what's going on right here. But I'm not sure. If you zoom out, how is there much more volume right here than before? Right. So where's that coming from? There's a lot. Is it accumulation or distribution? Is it accumulation or distribution? So that's all I wanted to bring to you right here. This is the reversal point right here on the total market cap. Let's pull up Bitcoin. I don't have any lines drawn on this guy here right now. Right. You can fix these lines up on a smaller scale. This is what the 5-day chart. So on this chart here, called the bottom or the top very, very nicely. And the thing is, all you have to do with this strategy is remember these points. These dates are very important. Like 175 days, which kind of aligns with what we were saying on the first reversal point. And for this guy here, 350. So right around 150 to 350 days, those are two reversal points, okay, that I give you. But we have to remember these dates. So let's just say January 1st, 2021, which is, in 170 days. And then June 21st, 2021. So that's really what I wanted to bring to you today. Let's go ahead and take a look at two more charts that might help in the shorter term time frame. Here's the Bitcoin dominance. So it's pretty much Bitcoin strength versus the altcoins. Bitcoin dominance in percentage terms. Right now we're at 65%. The same thing if we pull up market cap. It tells you at the top of the market cap, it says that we're at 65, 66%. I think it says 63% on that website. Anyways, I pulled up a Fibonacci extension all the way, pulled it down, and there you go. It hits the 61.8 very perfectly. And then I pulled another one right here. And the target on this guy here, and I also added some time frames on this guy. So the shorter term time frame, 130 days. It does look like the Bitcoin dominance is downtrending on a shorter term scale. And here's the longer term scale. Still, I would probably count this to a downtrend. Lots of volume coming in the market, which tells me, and it also makes sense that the altcoin charts versus Bitcoin is going up, right? It tells you right here in the volume that there's a lot of activity. So people are buying altcoins versus, so they're taking their Bitcoin and they're buying altcoins, says the volume. So I do think that we're going to start going downwards. unless people start taking profits on altcoins and buying Bitcoin. But I think their main purpose here is to accumulate altcoins because they're so damn low. Like I just showed you, EOS, not the USDT chart, but they're so damn low to their all-time highs. You know, maybe this is a bad example. Let's pull up XRP. XRP is one that's shunned upon. Nobody likes our XRP. Even Litecoin's getting shunned upon just because Charlie Lee sold his bags at the top of the market, right? But this could be the biggest winner out there, just because everybody's selling. Everybody's selling. Nobody likes to be holding a loser for a year, 2 years. Maybe they need the money, right? Maybe they really thought it was going to go to $2,000 in 2017, and the reason for investing is out of the window at this point. But it might actually get there in in time. It's not it doesn't happen in one day, right? This stuff happens in years. We're talking about, Bitcoin's only around for 10 years at this point, and look at the gains that it has made. So I think that this is why we're seeing some volume on, and this is XRP. This is like the worst performing altcoin out there right now. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the top whatever. But I really do believe like XRP, one candle, 440%. EOS went to $20. The same kind of pattern. I like this one as well. Is it shunned upon? Not as much, but I read in an investment book that a lot of the investments, right, this book right here, really good. It's a good read, mostly on psychology. It's called The Art of Execution. It's a really good book. So they're saying that a lot of the investments, the ones that are shunned upon, they use the word shunned upon, like the ones that are hated on the most, actually are the ones that outperform because nobody is buying them, because at the bottoms, because everybody's selling them at the bottoms. So when it does get accumulated, it's so easy. And then when the price starts to go up, everybody starts buying, like the herd mentality. Everybody starts buying. Now it becomes the best, and that's probably when you want to, get rid of some bags, take some profits, because what goes up, especially parabolic, must come down. People are going to take some profits at some points. So here's the 3 days of the Bitcoin dominance, and I could add the time frame indicator, but it's right about right now, okay, that this is probably going to do another leg down. Kind of defeats the purpose here, but interesting, 55 bars. Yep, it's exactly what I look for all the time. That's a really good timing strategy as well. So that's probably what we're looking for. 50, let's just call it 60 Bitcoin dominance. Does that align with the Fibonacci? Yeah, it does. So there's 3 confluent indicators. So since this hit the 61.8, I can reasonably assume that this is going to start going down, which means that people are going to start buying the altcoins, or they're going to hold the altcoins and they're going to sell Bitcoin. That's what I'm seeing in the charts right now. One last chart that I'd like to take a look at. This one is hard to grasp because this is the USDT dominance in terms of percentages. So 3.5. So these guys, they also print money, right? The Tether. So it's hard. That's why what I mean is hard to analyze this volume, because you don't know who's selling into USDT, or is this just fluff print USDT. So this huge pump right here was a print. I know that they printed I think millions, maybe like billions of I'm not sure how much they printed, but there was a lot. So both Bitcoin and USDT chart went up at the same time, and that doesn't happen. It's one or the other. Bitcoin goes up, this goes down. Bitcoin goes down, this goes up, because people are selling into USDT. So that's this chart. Let's take a look. So the Fibonacci's, we hit 2618 on this retracement here, or no, on this retracement downwards. On this one here, we hit the 16.8, which tells me that this is either an A, B, C, or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which also would make sense that we would go down on Bitcoin if we continue to go up on this chart here. We are getting some kind of toppy candles here, so it's a little bit hard to grasp, analyze this chart here. So yeah, like a double crossover and all that stuff. So if this chart's bearish, then that means Bitcoin should be bullish, but it's hard to grasp because they kind of screwed the chart. They kind of screwed the chart up here. So this is my bear cycle chart. Next target is going to be at 8,700. 8,700, and my actual target is going to be at I think like right here. Yeah, 7,200 for right now. And I would like to see it go all the way down to the triangle, the bottom of the triangle, which is like right here, 4,000, in 150 days, right? Or 300 days, whichever one it decides to be over here. So once again, watch January 1st or December, the month of December to January. I think there's going to be a lot of action or accumulation, distribution. I'm going to be watching volume. I want to see some increase in volume. And yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say about this video. And remember those dates. Remember them, because I think they're going to really be beneficial. One last thing. So the reason why I created this video, the objective of this video, is just to point out that we could very well be at the last stages of accumulation. Like, guys, this could be the bottom right here, right? With the tight stop loss. Even when Bitcoin goes down, these things can go upwards. It just means that they're buying. This is a 5-day chart, right? They're buying EOS versus Bitcoin. Instead of Bitcoin, they're holding and accumulating the altcoins. This dump on Bitcoin could be just a fear thing to accumulate altcoins, right? I've always had the question, and if you know the answer, post in the comments, please. And the question is, when you sell your altcoin, or when you buy an altcoin, does the price of Bitcoin go down? When you sell an altcoin, does the price of Bitcoin go down? And I think the answer is no, because you're selling for Satoshis. So I think that answers the question. So let's say that this was the bottom, which would match up right here as well pretty nicely. Add this Fibonacci here, because that's just how traders line stuff up here. It's pretty amazing, actually. Like, for example, it could go all the way down here. Check the 382. It could do a double bottom, right? But let's just say that this was the bottom. Like, that would be the target. But in 300 or 150 days from now, it could continue going down. We're still in a downtrend. So something like this. And you see how these two are lined up? That's how they trade. That's how the algos do it as well. So this could be a target right here for Satoshis. But that's all I wanted to bring to the table right now. There's a lot of buying altcoins versus Bitcoin, in my opinion. That's what I see. That's what I see on the charts. Okay. Like, for example, take a look at Zilliqa. Zilliqa was a good example. but it could just mean because it was so damn oversold that, you know, there's no more sellers in a channel for 200 days. This video is a little bit long, so I'm gonna cut it now, and I hope that, you know, this brought some light and some truth and some, you know, good thinking to the table. Post in the comments, and if you have any ideas, any thoughts there as well.